It's still really unclear if the upcoming Matter standard will truly help us in our homes, but companies are preparing and they have been letting little secrets out of the bag for how their hubs and systems will improve. So today I'm going to identify 7 smart home hubs that will be amazing very soon. Hello Automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and today I'm going to tell you how to automate your future. Now, the introduction of Thread into the smart home market happened many years ago, with it sitting on the Nest thermostats as well as a few other Nest products. However, the critical mass of products has never happened because there weren't many hubs with Thread. This is about to change with the Echo 4th generation, which is the only Amazon speaker I'm excited about from their lineup. That is, until we get some new ones, and that I think is September, maybe October at the latest. Now, the other thing that you won't care about right now, but will care about when it provides you new features that no one else has, is that Amazon has been ready with their developer tools for some time, which means that when combined with the 150 million plus speakers that were sold in the last 2 years, those two facts will add up to features that not many other smart home platforms will have access to showing up inside of the Amazon app. A great example of this is Hue Dynamic Scenes showing up in the Amazon app. And actually, when you look at Govi's options for lighting too, there's a lot of extra features you get there versus other platforms. Now, when you consider that the speaker has the processing power to do some local automation, plus all of the wireless technologies now on the hub, this is the cornerstone of a true smart home. Amazon just needs a few more routine features and the world will simply be there. Their only competitor in terms of sheer numbers is Samsung SmartThings with over 100 million users. Now, the V3 and AO Tech hubs are basically the same, but what excites me about SmartThings going forward is the sheer number of devices that will work with the platform. I'm also excited about the number of hubs or Matter controllers that you will have in your home with SmartThings on it, which I think is leading to a point where Samsung can give almost unlimited automation creation and almost unlimited devices inside of SmartThings. Plus, the Home Connectivity Alliance isn't Matter compatible, or at least it hasn't been stated that way. So when the 1,000 plus appliances come into SmartThings from that alliance, Samsung doesn't have to share it out. And I think all of us see just how powerful appliances in a smart home will be. SmartThings is also still an incredibly easy application used for fairly advanced smart home automations and features. The team has moved almost everything local to their hub, and if Samsung turns on the Thread radio sitting in the V3 and AO Tech hubs, the sky's the limit for those, as they'll have the most radios of anything on this list. Oh, and a little side note, Samsung's had their developer tools ready to go for a while too, and it's about to bear fruit for them with a number of products getting better integration. So more products, better features, and near unlimited power. I feel like He-Man, because I'll have the power. Apple looks slated to release a new version of their larger HomePod, and maybe even a new version of the HomePod Mini. And I think that both of those will be exciting speakers. But when I look at their existing lineup, I'm actually more excited about the Apple TV 4K that was released just last year with Thread on board. It's a smart home hub for the Apple Home app. Plus, with Thread, it can build your network out for you. And I love the fact that I can monitor my smart home cameras on that TV, plus get notifications. Simply put, Apple has the most product compatibility to gain. And although this is a bit of a reach because Apple hasn't come out and stated this explicitly to me, but I have had some conversations that led me to believe that the Matter standards codes will replace Apple HomeKit codes. And therefore, any Matter compatible device will become compatible with HomeKit. That will mean an absolute explosion on the number of devices that work with Apple HomeKit. And if that is the case, Apple has a huge upside with their hubs. And I just like the fact that I get a whole TV operating system with this specific hub. Google Nest has been a serious disappointment for me in my smart home. And it's not that their voice assistant is bad, because it's absolutely the best. And it's not that their app is bad, because it's probably the best. And it's not like their interfaces on their smart displays are bad because, well, they are probably the best. When you get right down to it, Google has a ton going for them. But what they have never done is implemented true home automation features in their app. Dates have changed over and over again, but apparently they were waiting for Matter to enable those features, but also to enable a number of Thread radios sitting on their hubs. But the hub from Google that I am the most excited about is one that isn't even released. We now have details on the next generation of Google Nest Wi-Fi. One of the best things about Nest Wi-Fi is how reliable it is in terms of holding on to a lot of Wi-Fi devices. But I am sure that not only are we getting Wi-Fi 6, but we're also getting Wi-Fi 6E, as well as Thread and BLE on that router and the mesh nodes. I mean, it's not released, so I'm not 100%, but when that device comes out and Google enables some of those features that we have been dying for, then when you combine solid Wi-Fi with the Matter standard, Thread connectivity, and everything else you get with Google Home, this could be one of the most powerful Matter controllers available. Now, I just gave a ton of kudos to Google for something they haven't done, and I'm not going to do that without this caveat. Hey, we're still waiting. There's lots of options today. 6 more on this list. The next 2 smart home hubs are incredibly cheap, or they've been traditionally less expensive than most of the others I'm talking about today. In fact, these hubs started out with just Zigbee. Aqara is taking a number of their hubs and adding Thread and Matter to them. This simultaneously prepares them for the future, and it solves what I think are 2 of the biggest gaps they have. It's always just been Aqara products inside of their app, and if we suddenly have access to create automations with some of these specialized features we can get on the Aqara hubs, then this could be really interesting. Then when I think about the G3 hub and I consider their fancy gesture features, I could be starting music on my Echo speaker with this fancy hand movement. And I'm not used to my hand really exciting people or doing amazing things. The other really inexpensive system is something that has been slowly building, and I think started out really horribly. In fact, I've never really used the IKEA Smart Home application or the IKEA Smart Home Hub. It's been terrible for a number of years, and their hub really never got off the ground. However, the new Dirigera hub will be a Matter controller. Plus, it will have Zigbee and Thread. Amazingly, it will connect to all of the previous IKEA smart home products. Plus, will be usable in the new app that they've redesigned. And again, with that compatibility to Matter, giving their hub access to many more devices in the near future, and the ultimate in future integration with our furniture, IKEA has a real inside track to doing some really neat things in our homes. I still want to see the new app and I still want to experience this, but IKEA is a true dark horse in the smart home space, and they will continue to have support from Sonos, who also is a fairly dark shaded mammal with 4 legs. I don't even get that. From one mammal to another, the ultimate underdog is still Home Assistant. These folks are doing incredible work on the development side, and HA can do some of the most intricate and powerful automations today. Now, it's not a perfect system, and it is far too hard for most people to work with, but when you combine Matter's local connectivity with multi-admin, I'm interested to see what this developer community can do with what is some increased access to automation features that are local to our smart homes. The other thing is that the development happening here is already taking place, so I think this will be one of the first hubs ready to take on some of the more interesting features or interesting opportunities that come out of Matter. With all of this said, there are some major drawbacks that I see with the Matter standard. You should be aware of these so that when you look at buying one of these hubs or other smart home products, you buy the right ones. I have a video that lays out these concerns and tells you what to do about them, so check that out because it's up on screen now. Otherwise, thanks for watching today, and of course, don't hate, automate.